Good morning, everyone. It's Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we're here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Hey, Karen, how you doing? I'm Tara Lena from California Cover Ups, and my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, tech diva and real estate entrepreneur, is in the background producing this show. Hey, Fran,
Yeah. Hi,
I'm going to
Caren.
give her a shout out and thank her so much for all that she
Yes.
does. Yes. Ah, but before we get started, I just want to say I'm so glad you decided to join us today. And we're going to hear some really important things today from Coach Caren, all about the fact that I say it's all in our mind, but it's a matter of the mind. It's in your head, people. So without further ado, I introduce to some, present to others, Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. How you doing, Coach?
I'm great. Thanks for the wonderful intro as always. Hi, guys. We're here with us, and who's going to check us out on the replay? Thank you so much for joining us today. And today we're talking about the matter of the mind, and we're probably going to continue this conversation right through the month, just in different segments, because I like to segment things away because I feel that you, you get a processes and it's not dumped on you all at once and so I really pull little pieces out of it and talk about it
Yes,
each week.
I don't do brain dumps well. Just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's coming from everywhere.
Yes. Yes. Somebody yesterday was on a call with somebody and he asked me, says, like, I guess with the conversation lead around to what do I really do? And I said, I really help people, I really help people be productive, which equals money. So productivity in sales. If you want to just put it in a nutshell, I help people with productivity in sales because we were talking about the new program that I'm working on and how the mind shifts and how the mind and what happened with the mind. And I'm like, you know what? This month I was playing around with a few ideas and I said, I am going to talk about the matter of the mind because with all the holidays coming up and all the things that's happening, it really spook you and make you feel you can do certain things when it's not true, but you feel you can do. So here's the three things we're going to cover. We're going to talk about your dream. And I know I talked about it before, but I'm going to talk about it again. We talk about the dream and why it was given to you. We'll talk about your dream. It was given to you and you alone. And you don't need anyone to tell you what to do. Your dream, you don't need anyone to tell you anything to do about it. And the people who cross your path, they are there. They bring the test to you. They bring your testing to you.
Mhm.
They bring it subconsciously most of the times, but they're still bringing your testing to you. And I'll explain and go into the why of it.
Well, some people are just a test.
Those are there too.
Trezor is asking us, are we hustlers? No, honey, I receive my customers. I don't hustle for them. They come for the gift.
Yes. They come for the gift. They come for the gift. They come to experience our gift and
Yes.
they work on their gifted. And hustle is not a dirty word. It's just been
No.
used in the wrong places. It's human beings that give meaning to the word. You know this. So when they give a word and the pack of people run behind the word and decide it in a certain manner, when people hear it, they freak out with it when there's no
Mhm.
need really to do that. Every single company around the world hustle for their company. Yes, that means they work hard, they're honest, they're creative, they enjoy a whole bunch of things around hustle. So, honey, hustle, it's not a bad word. All right. Just like money is not a dirty word. We talk
Exactly.
a lot here. And so, number one, I touch on, I say your dreams was given to you and you alone. The problem is believing it. It is so simple that we have learned to live complicated lives, and simplicity makes us think that it's not for us. We have to explain everything to death, get everybody's approval to be able to live into our dream, into what it
Mhm.
is we're supposed to do. If all you're supposed to do is be a helper, that's all you're supposed to do. But that is so important for the person you're helping in whatever capacity. Because when you are helping, you get to realize that you're doing way more than helping. If you were to categorize and binderize it and systemize it, I'm going to do a lot of my's here, you will be shocked of yourself. Because every dream, every gift that you receive, it's way more than it started out to be. You get to see, and God knows that you can only handle this much. So that's why it's so simple for the human brain. That's why it's so simple. It is really big, but He can't give it to you this big because you will probably fall in your face. This is why He makes it so simple. And He says, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're supposed to do in life. And then you question it to death, and you do a bunch of other things, mind you, and then you get yourself in such a titsy and so overwhelmed, because that's the word people love to use. But really and truly, you just pack, overwhelmed is just packing things on top of each other over and over and over again. And you can't decide, you can't differentiate, you can't think clearly because you are clustered up.
Mm.
And so you can't think clearly. And so the dream that you were given, the thought process that went on, the thing that you know you deep, deep down inside that you need and should do, you can't bring it to light and do it because you first didn't believe it. So when you get it, you got to believe it. And it
Mm.
evolves in itself into what it's supposed to be. But you first have to believe it. And this, my friends, is the hardest part. That's why I usually like to say, and I've heard other people say it too, the hardest thing you're going to do is believe in yourself that you could. This is why when somebody pat you on your back and they said, oh my God, you did well, you act in surprise. You don't know how to take the compliment because part of you didn't believe you could do it. And
Mm.
so you got reassured by some stranger that don't really know you, but might have been admiring you, and they're confirming what you know. And you seem to need that to make it real. But it was
Mm.
real when it was given to you. It was real because what it's going to make of you. It's real because you is an extension. We're all extensions of each other. So if you don't live into your dream, you can go out and help the other person and persons that you're supposed to help. That's the fundamental reason why you have to believe that this
Mm-hmm.
gift that was given to you is for you and you alone, only you. And when you say, well, what I do, somebody else do, of course they do, but they're never going to do it like you. They're not coming from the belief, they're not coming from your experiences, they're not coming from who you are. So it was given to you to be formatted and systemized and get produced so that you can share with somebody else.
Oh, wow. I think that this is so true. I think that's why a lot of times when we start out in business, we don't really take the leap. We're very cautious because we don't really believe in ourselves, or we know that the first sign of criticism, we're going to shrink back. And I say this from my own personal experience. I did not share with people that I was starting a business till after I had started it and I was making money. People in my family, people close to me, people that I valued their opinion, because I knew if they said something contrary, I was going to take that in and probably not take the steps I needed to really start my business.
Yeah. And I'm going to talk about later about how great things are created quietly and why. We'll talk about
Mm,
that later in the week, later in the month, because it's just part of all these processes, all these things you need to do. We always hear about apple a day or excuse me, whatever, different things people use for abundance. And
mm-hmm,
part of what people talk about abundance is fruit, right?
mm-hmm.
And and lots of fruits got so many different significance to it that sometimes we don't even pay attention to.
Oh,
When you start paying attention to it, whatever that fruit is for you, we remember the saying, fruit, your fruit of fruits of your labor. I
oh
mean,
yes.
when you think about things, eh? when you really sit and listen and think about phrases,
Mm-hmm.
and the people who, not the people now who's repeating it, but the people who first said it,
Yeah.
they're pulling from this place. And really and truly, lots of time we don't realize where they're pulling from. Anyhow, I'm not getting sidetracked and getting into that, but
Mm-hmm.
let's get to number two right away. Number two is you don't need anyone to tell you what to do.
Mm.
You do not need anybody when you're given a dream to tell you what to do. If you, as you girls know, I love, you ladies know, I love to people watch. And I met a lady a time I was on a bus going somewhere. And I met a lady in the bus and I was reading and I closed my book and I leaned my head back and I was looking around. And she came and sat next to me and she said, "Hi, good morning." And we started talking. And she was sketching people. So, "What are you doing?" And I said to her, "I'm people watching." And she said, "Me too. What do you know? Me too." But she was literally sketching people. She would
Ah.
take the bus and she would get on the bus and she would sketch people. And she showed me her book. I mean, we were cracking up because just facial expression that she caught in her sketch pad and what people were doing. And this is what she did. It would crack you up. I mean, if you see, you probably could see the painting or drawing, you would never know it's yourself because, of course, there's no name to it.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps it in black and white and slightly colored. That's what she told me. But she just takes the bus a couple of times in the morning in the week and she'll just sketch people and catch their expressions and see what they're doing. Nobody. And she said to me, "Karen, I knew that I was supposed to be an artist
Mm-hmm.
when I was very, very little. But when I first told my mom that I'm an artist, she said, "But you never draw anything." And that's why I'm bringing this up. And she said, "But you never draw anything." She told her mom, "Well, I could draw, but I don't want to." And her mom, dismissed it because she said she was about 5 around that time. And when she got to school, they would have art classes, but she wouldn't do it because she didn't want to make the other kids around her feel bad. Because she would say to them, in her head, she would be thinking, they can't draw. Because at that age, everybody's doing stick people. But
Yeah.
she literally could draw. So that was her gift. And she knew it. But she was afraid to showcase it because her mom said, "You can't draw." So that part of her started believing because she's a kid that she couldn't draw. But inside of her, she knew she could. And
Mm-hmm.
then eventually she started doing it in secret. And then the mother found it and asked her, "Why did you steal somebody's drawing and bring it home?" Because the type of drawing she was doing at the age about 7 or 8, the mother couldn't believe that she did it. Now, this is an older woman, so this is a long time ago. And the
Mm-hmm.
mother doubted that she had the talent because the mother said to her, "Nobody in our family is artists. I mean, I hope you don't think you're going to go anywhere with this. You're planning for college, right? Because this is not going to pay any bill or do anything for you." And so that dream, that gift that she knew was hers, she pressed it down. She take it away. She went to college as they wanted her to. She wanted to study the arts, but she didn't. She studied what they wanted her to study. She was going to be a doctor, and that was the end of the story. But every day she drew because that was what she was brought here to give to the world. And when she was finished, and she finished med school and she became a doctor for a year or two. She said on year 3, she knew that she couldn't stifle it anymore. And
Mm.
she gave up the gig, well paid gig, and went into what she was gifted for, what was she was put on this earth to do.
Wow. That,
She
that's a
didn't need,
beautiful story.
she
I,
didn't need anybody to tell her what to do. We end up taking 2 buses, by the way. Side note, because where she was going, I wasn't going. She went with me. We ended up chatting, and then we had coffee and we left. I'm pretty much a conversationalist. I'm gonna put my hands up on that one. But I was just fascinated with her story. And I bring it
wow.
to the forefront because it's a real confirmation of the things we're supposed to do. And we don't need anybody to tell us. But people come into our lives, even our parents, and we will derail our children, not
Yeah.
intentionally, but because we can see or we haven't accomplished what we wanted to, and we
Mhm.
want so much more for them. That thinking about an artist, you don't think about the gifted or the brilliant or the artists who make money. right away, her mom went into the poor artists. Her mom went into the people who did not was successful as artists. So in her mind, her child will suffer. Her child will have a hard life. So even though the mom didn't say that, as adults we were talking, that was who really was presenting itself to the mom, and that's
Mhm.
why she discouraged, and that's why she, say, You're not an artist," and she took it on. But it's so powerful that she couldn't resist, that she had to.
Wow. I talk about this from time to time on Mondays when we talk about different things.
Hmm.
And one of the things that we've had a conversation about before is the fact that you can speak things into people, and they internalize it and they carry it for years.
Yes.
And that's what this sounds like what happened. Someone spoke something into her that negated the dream and
Yes.
postponed the journey.
Yeah. And she's an artist, and she said to me, she says, "Nobody knows me." We were talking about it. Nobody knows
Mhm.
her. So she's going under a artist name, not her real name.
Oh,
Still
okay.
hiding. Yeah.
A name de plume,
Yes.
like
Yes. Yes.
authors
Yes.
have a
Yes.
author's name. Oh, how
Yes.
nice! Well,
Yes.
I'm so glad that she is able to exercise the gift um, that is planted in her heart.
Yes, yes, because so many people never do what she did. So many people are still living to this day and know what the dream is, know what the gift is. But because it's not tangible,
Hmm.
it's hard for them to jump from it not being tangible to getting where it is. Because every dream that we have gifted, it's never tangible. It's in the mind eyes, and
Ah,
only you can see it. Only you can envision it. And if you sit long enough with it, the whole picture presents itself. All the steps presents itself. And it is airy kind of a way when you see it if you allow yourself. Now, this is a lot of dreaming I'm talking about. This way beyond just a dreaming, but the intensity of waiting to see it through. And it can take days, it can take months, but it could take a moment where you see a big picture. But you have to
mhm,
be open and wanting to receive it. And so when you don't believe, which is the first steps, right? When you don't believe, which is the first step, it is hard to see anything and see past anything I'm talking about because you're right there doubting and making
mhm.
sure that it doesn't come to fruition lots of times.
Yes, stepping all over your own dreams.
Yes.
You,
We do
you know
that
what
a
I'm saying? Someone says, "I don't like that color," and the next thing you know, you're not exercising your gift.
lot. Right?
Mhm.
Right? There are always gonna be people who is gonna wanna make you feel like you can't do something. And it's usually whatever's happening to them, they wanna pass it on to you. It didn't matter. When I never had jet black hair, I always had brown hair. And I didn't know I had brown hair. Like, in pictures, that's when I saw it. Like you could see the tinge, which just never was black, it just was
Uh-huh.
brown. And I remember in school when those days, with press hair, right? So a friend of mine, after I started getting it cut down, and the lady would press my hair. And because she pressed it, you can see the brown more prevalent. And when the sun
Mhm.
shines, you'd see the brown hair. And people and classmates and people, teachers even had said to me, "Why are you dyeing your hair?" And I'm like, "I don't dye my hair. That's the color. It's just brown." I
Uh-huh.
don't dye my hair. It's just brown. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me started to think about dyeing my hair
Mm.
at one point at that time. And a friend of mine was in school with me and she was dyeing her hair. And she said, "Karen, that's why I dye my hair." Because she heard when the girl asked me, she says, I says, "You don't have black hair?" She says, "No, I have like a reddish brown hair." And then she showed me from a baby, she had this hair. And she said her mom started dyeing it when she was about 8 or 9.
Really?
Early, early, they were mixed with native and I don't know, Portuguese and what have you. And
Wow.
her mom started dyeing the hair because people would ask and people made her mom feel a certain way. So she would dye, specifically my friend here, because the other siblings had black hair, but she had this brown hair with freckles and they would dye the hair so that
That's
they don't
it.
have to deal with it. That
That-
insane and crazy, but yes.
It's different. Let's put it this way. It's different, people. Uh, okay.
But people
People.
do things, people do things because if they're uncomfortable or they've never met or experienced a certain thing,
Mhm.
if you pay attention to them, you would want to change yourself because you're worried. And most people, and I know people say, Carmen, you can't tell me you're never worried. Of course, I worry when people talk about things, but I am not the kind of person who take it on. That's just a difference. If you tell me something, I think about it for a moment, but I kind of a brusher offer kind of person, if you will. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
you're not important kind of thing. Might not be good to some people, but for me, it works because it allowed me to be myself. It really
Wow.
allowed me
Well,
to be myself.
Jerry says yes, and Brenda says wow. But it's so true. We have so many gifts and talents buried in us because they were annihilated by people's words when we were young or in other situations on the journey.
Exactly, exactly. One of the gifts that my grandmother gave me, and I didn't know it was a gift until I was older, actually living in this very house, not even in the other houses. And I was walking up the steps and I said, she had given me the gift of freedom
Mm.
from a young age. And I didn't know it was a gift. I got to run my own life, made my own decisions very early in life. So when you know, when I realized how powerful that was the day my husband said to me, you just make decisions without thinking about it or thinking about anybody else. Where he said to me, you don't question when you make a decision, like you just go for it. And I admire it and I hate it because at the same time, I'm just going to be honest with you, I just admire it, but I hate it at the same time because while I would be debating, you would just come and that would be it. And regardless of what happened, that's what happened. And you just roll with it. You say, well, that's what happened because I made that decision. You don't blame anybody. You don't, you know,
Don't beat yourself up about it. Yeah.
you know.
Because if we don't make the decision, well, two things can happen. We can either um, live a life of regret or a life of resentment
Yes,
because we didn't do what was really on our heart.
exactly. Exactly.
And there's Brenda. Brenda says nothing worse than putting yourself in someone else's box to keep them comfortable. That is
Exactly, Brenna.
so true,
Oh,
Brenda.
you are on point, darling. So
That is so true. And it's sort of like someone comes to visit and they want the whole couch, and so you sit on the floor. Wait a minute, there's plenty of couch for everybody. Come on, people.
ain't happening. Ain't happening. No, no, no,
And you're in
no.
my house.
Exactly. 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 So number three was people will cross your path, but only to assist you with the testing your belief in yourself. And this is hard because when people are put in your path and you think it's like, let's say for business, somebody come to you, they say they're gonna help you with sales, and you're feeling really excited because you haven't sold anything, and you're saying to yourself, oh my God, they're gonna help me and everything's gonna be great. The truth is, you were able to do this. They are there to the testing part is all the things that you will go through. Now, when you're going through them, it is hard. You guys know I don't wrap things up. It is hard. So it seems like they're coming at you with all the wrong things, saying all the wrong things, putting you in the worst possible situation. But that testing at that time dictates who you become, who you turn out to be, how
Hmm.
you handle problems, what kind of things triggers you off. And I learned that because of all the things that I got put through. Every single time something new was put in my path. And only this morning I had a discussion with my daughter. I had learned and I've taught myself to sit with it, evaluate it, make a decision, and move. Period. There's no other way around it. So I was put in the position where my head was going to be bald every 2 weeks. And I had to say, I got to cry about it. I hate it. But what can I do? So after a while, and it took a full year before so this wasn't happening overnight. It took a full year for me to say, I want hair. I honestly want hair. And I cried like crazy. And I cried all my way to the barber. And he said, why are you crying? I said to him, I want hair. And he said, okay. So why am I cutting your hair? I said, you know why you're cutting my hair. And he said to me, I'm gonna line it up for you and you can pat it down. Because where we gotta find curls, you can it's dense in there. And
Hmm.
he goes, and that's what we'll do. And we'll see how it grows. And I would show up and he would line me up and I wouldn't get my hair cut. And then I got brave enough over a couple of weeks and I was able to say, I can braid my own hair. I can plait my hair. If I can plait my hair, could I keep my hair?
Mm-hmm.
And she went, well, if you can plait your hair, you can keep your hair. But if I had asked her before I make that decision, before I went to the barber, before I voice it, I don't think I would get to keep my hair. So it taught me after that episode that whatever you want, whatever you need, you have to be brave enough to ask for it.
Mm.
You got to be brave because even if they're going to say no, you are brave enough to ask for it and willing to fight for it because the fight that you're going to do for it is going to help you along the road, whether you're in business or not. It's going to help you. It's going to help you understand people. It's going to help you know how to push and how to pull and how to sidestep because every person that comes to you, where that new door is open, you're going to meet with people with different disposition, different behaviors, but they all have similarities. And you're going to use those similarities to your advantage every time. Now, when in the beginning, you're going to have to figure out how to use them, but eventually you will. So if you had somebody like I'm talking about, she was a person, if you ask, you're probably going to get a no. But if you did, and then you ask or then you present, she's probably going to sidestep. She's not going to force through. No, you have the people who will. And when you find them, you group them also and you start figuring out where their weakness lies because no matter how hard somebody is, they've got weak links. And your job is to investigate their weak links and figure out how to tap into them because you're going to use those same weak links. Do you know all what I'm talking about people use in sales? All of these tactics, people use in sales because they've studied people, not individual, but personality types. There's so much similarities in people. That also triggers how somebody buy, how somebody spend, how somebody receive money. All that sort of stuff is tied in there. But the only reason you know this or figure this out is because you're paying attention. You got to pay attention to see this happen. This is not an overnight thing. So I started learning how I can sell to her. Really, it's not for money, but how I can sell ideas to her. Which to this day work, really to my advantage. And another thing I learned with her, what she taught me was being able to sit in the mess while it's happening. So I learned to develop while everything is happening to me, I could sit there and leave mentally, but be there in the present. That's important.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me you took a mental vacation?
Oh, yeah. Our kids do it all the time.
Yes, they do. Womp, 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 womp. Mom's talking, they're like, womp, womp, womp. Okay. Well, let me just wait till she finished.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to take it. You got to do it. So when they come in your path and when they come to test you, you say to yourself, is this a test? Am I getting pushed? What do I expect? You can even set it up in multiple choices. If boom, boom, they're going to do this. This is what I want them to do. This is what I like them to do. You start evaluating and do it mentally. And if your person can't remember things, as soon as the conversation is finished, get out pen and paper and then go put it on paper. And don't worry about how it shows up and how it looks on the pen and paper. There's no right or wrong way. It's just the way that would serve you later. Something to go back to. It doesn't have to look nice and pretty. Most things are scribbled. If you see my books, you probably wouldn't know half of what I'm talking about. But then I take it over time and turn it into something that is readable, that is usable.
I hear you. Wow. This is just so great. Just the number 4, be brave enough to ask for it and fight for it. I think sometimes we have the ability to ask, but we don't have the ability to fight, or we have the ability to fight, but we never really ask. So we're in a fight about something. People don't know why are you fighting? What you fighting about?
Yeah.
Why are you angry all the time? You're always ready for a fight.
Yes.
Or
anger is built up from so many different things that's happening to you. You're quiet about and you're not talking about.
Exactly. And you're still fighting that thing back there. And it was a totally different situation, a totally different set of people. But you're bringing that fight to this table. Like, there's a seat here. you fighting for the seat? We
Right.
offered you the seat, and the
Exactly.
seat's available.
And in the matter, all is
Wow.
in the matter of the mind. All is in the process. All is happening. It's happening. There's so many things that's happening. I was talking to a potential client yesterday. And by the way,
Mm-hmm.
my first client into the program, anyway. And we were talking, and he said to me, he said, "Karen, you're telling me because we're going to talk about that. I think at the end of the month about how health and how your health and money works together, right? And
Mm-hmm.
why health and wealth, it's part of the process." And he said to me, he says, "Oh my God, you are tapping into some money things. I want to hide." I'm like, "You gotta hide." You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Don't hide, people. Don't hide. Whatever dreams were given to you, whatever dreams were given to you, believe it is for you and you alone, even when it doesn't look good to you.
Mm-hmm.
It is for you. It is for you. And you don't need anyone to tell you it is for you because most people will tell you it is not for you. So that's why you have to believe it that it's for you because people will dissuade you. Even the people who agree with you and say to you, I think you should do it, they're not fully invested in your idea. Some people are just people pleaser. We all are, but some people to the extreme. So they'll agree with you. Even deep down inside, they don't really agree or think you can do it. And I have
Uh-huh.
a friend is such a wonderful hairdresser, hairstylist, but she doesn't believe she is. Two of them. One is a hairdresser. She's not a hairstylist. And I said that to her. I said, "You're not a hairstylist, you're a hairdresser. And here's why. You take care of people's hair. You make sure it's nourished. You tell them how to take care of it. You care about their hair. You don't care about the fancy style. So in your case, you'd want to build a salon out where you are the caretaker of hair, but you'll get a hairstylist in there. No, it's not too much work. You are a hairdresser, not a hairstylist. And I know maybe nobody want to tell you. I'm going to tell you, you don't do really great style. A lot of old people style, and maybe you have no interest in it, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're a hairdresser. You're a good hairdresser, but she doesn't believe it. I have another friend is a hairstylist, and she's a good hairstylist. Now, the two of them together would make so much magic, but neither of them believe it. So they work around the clock in all sorts of jobs, always, because
Now,
they're not working in their giftings.
I just heard something critical right here. If if you don't have the skill for a certain part of what you're trying to do, collaborate with somebody
Yep.
who has that gift.
Yes.
Mm,
Yes. And they will
wow.
make magic for you. They will make magic. They will make magic. Your business will grow. You will be shocked of all the great things that would happen in your life because you've living into your dream. Most people are punishing and having a hard time at work because that's not where they need to be. God is just niching them out, just pushing them and just saying, "Leave. I have better things for you. I have a bigger dream for you. I want you to be where I want you to be." But since you're stubborn and you're here, all these things has to take place. Now that doesn't mean when you leave things don't happen, but it happened to push you in a different area. See, another kind of the testing I'm talking about.
Mm,
Another kind of the testing. Going to school and becoming a doctor, a lawyer, anything doesn't mean you shouldn't be, but maybe not where you are being that doctor or lawyer. Maybe you need to be at somewhere else. So he's moving you to where you need to be. Let's say that was your dream, but this company, this specific place is not for you. Maybe you need to start your own law firm so you can help other people who is in your niche or who need you to help mold them into what, again, from their tested to get to be where they need to be. And
gotcha.
that's what I have for you guys today.
Wow. Coach, this was really a good conversation. People are being helped over here. I just want to give a shout out to Jerry and to
All
several people who joined us on Periscope.
Hi, guys.
And yeah, we got new people and Brenna and all of those folks who stopped by to see us.
Yes.
We just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to
Mhm.
spend some time with us. We're here every Wednesday with Coach Caren. And and if you're looking for her on the web, you can find her everywhere on the web under Island Girl Hustle.
Yes.
So tell us about any programs that you have coming up, Caren.
Yes, simultaneously, I'm looking for about 10 to 12 people to go through the program initially this year. So we open on I think it's the 10th, the 25th of this month.
Oh,
And so just a small number of people to get in there and do it, kind of like a Black Friday sale. And you will be the people who go to be the founding members, and you're getting it for less than 50% off. So say upfront it's 997 you get it for. If you come in when the new year, you're welcome, Jerry. If you come in the new year, it'll be the original price, which is $2,300. You'll be with working with me for the full year, but the first 8 weeks is where we dive in and get things done. And we skip a week and then we do a bonus 2 weeks, and then for the rest of the year, if you didn't get it done, we get you caught up. But for those first 8 weeks is where we do coaching, where I put people on the hot seat, where if you got your business and you're not sure what it is, you learn a lot of clarity, you have people you get accountability and partnership with. It's called the 4 hour workday. And what that means is we work out all the things and put together all the attachment to run a real sound business, to take your ideas, your dreams, and your hobby and turn it into something that can be profitable. That's what we do. We connect all the dots and we bring it down and take out all the excess things that you're doing and bring it down to working 4 hours a day on the core things that run your engine, your business, the core engine, which is marketing, which is sales, and which is conversation around the things you do. Because those are the important part. And you'll learn how to do all those things very well so that when you decide to hire it out, and we will also be talking about planning on the hiring out. When you hire it out, you have a really good idea of what you're handing off to people. Because the worst thing to do is say, I want a VA, I want a designer, but the poor designer don't know what they're designing for you because you haven't vetted it out yet.
yeah.
And I have people complain about that. I give this woman my website to do and she's not doing a good job. Well, she doesn't know what to do because you didn't tell her what to do.
Yeah.
There's no match.
Yeah. It's like I want to buy a car, but I don't want to tell you what color. I don't want to pick the interior.
Just give me a car.
Just, yeah. And when it shows up, that's not what I had in mind.
Right?
Okay. I kept asking you what kind, and you didn't want to be bothered. Okay.
Oh, Francis, you are ready to get the brand right before you. Well, now the time. Come get your brand up and ready to scale. Join us for our best
Oh, yeah.
Boost Your
Okay.
Brand Up workshop.
Boost Your Brand workshop.
Okay.
This is the year to make your presence known. No more sitting on the sidelines. It's time to do the work, but doing the work is always better together.
It
So,
is. It is. It
yes,
is. It is. It is. It is.
with that.
Yes, people. It is.
So with that, we're going to give you back some change, guys, today. And we just want to thank you for joining us. We want to remind you, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Tomorrow is Thursday, and we'll be doing Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. Join us tomorrow. We look forward to talking to you because if you don't have your health, you can't keep your wealth.
And Francis, share the workshop, Perry, before you go. The workshop is coming up on the 16th of this month. Okay, guys?
Oh, okay.
The workshop is coming up on the 16th of
Okay, so what she wants me to do is remind everybody that November 16th, we are going to have the Beast Your Brand workshop. It's a workshop to help you develop your brand. This is the year, she says, to make your presence known. So we didn't have a date before, so it appears that we now have a date. So if you're looking to become a part of that workshop, you can go to bizchicks.net and get the details, or you can inbox us here on Facebook, on our Facebook page, and we'll get those details to you.
Yes.
All
And the lady
righty.
will have the link. The lady will put the link in the group so you guys can see the link and go check it out.
Sounds like a plan.
Mm.
All righty, Daddy. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.